Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to look at 3 more JavaScript tricks and tips and scripts and examples which may teach you something new which you may have not known. Let's go right into it, okay? First, we have it on the screen. It's called variables. Ernest, I already know variables. I know you know. You can skip this part, okay? Don't worry. But also, you may learn something new. Because, did you know, in JavaScript you can declare variables 3 different ways. You can say const, you can say var, and you can say let. What's the difference? You will see in a minute. Don't rush into it, okay? Here we go. We have a function here where we declare a C constant and it's 1. And then we have an if true statement. Don't ask, just don't ask. It's there, okay? There's a reason for it. Where I declared a var scope variable, set it to true, and also the block variable, we'll set it to true with let. Okay, so far so clean. Now, if I execute this code, what's gonna happen? Why don't we try? Uh-oh, we have an error. What's the problem here? See, constant 1, scope variable true, block variable is not defined. Why? How is that so? As the name says, it's a block variable. Okay, but it's not because it's a block variable, it's because I used the let keyword. Let lets you create variables within the block scope, okay? This variable only exists in this if statement. If I were to do something like this and set it, for example, to false and run the code again, oh, now it executes, but we are using this. Where's the pen? Pen! Where's the pen? I forgot the pen. I always forgot. Where is it? Here we go. Pen and it goes. So here, what's printed? Okay, that's this. This is this and not this, because this variable only exists in this block. What a nice drawing I did. One more thing. I think you understand this, okay? I think you do. What happens if I move this constant into this block? Okay, let's try. Uh-oh, C is not defined, which is this. Even Visual Studio Code highlights, see, it's a bit opaque, these two, as if they are not used, because this const keyword is also block scoped, meaning every constant exists in its own block. So far so good. I think we already covered almost everything. Using a var is different because it's not bound to a block, but into a function scope or object scope or whatever scope you're in. It's scope bound, but let and constant is block bound. There you go. You know everything now. Okay, first example already over. So clever. Next one, I think it's a bit easier, the next one. Let's check out. Let me clear the console. Now, we have a class, my class, as we always do. And the obligatory mypp attribute, which is set to long. And in the constructor, we try to print mypp is what? Let's try. Does this work? Bing bong, mypp is long. Okay, so we printed it in the constructor and printed it pen. So we printed it in the constructor here and also printed it in the main code. Okay, so it's printed twice here. Very nice. So far, so easy. But what's this about? The file name is private, close private. What I want to show you is that in JavaScript you can actually create private properties. You can make them private, just like in other languages. All you need to do is change the variable name to start with this hash, okay? And you can also put it in here, and you can also put it in here. And if all goes right, see, it's already on the right. If all goes right, this should give us an error. Will it? Yes, this is a problem because this one here does not exist. See, it says that, not exist, it says that it's private, so we can't access it anymore. But if I remove this and try it again, it should print my pp is long, which is correct. Easy? Very easy. You can also define functions to be private if you want to. 2 out of 3 done. Now, as you may have known, that the third one is always a little bit more intense. Let's take a look at the third example. Don't worry, I'm gonna explain everything. This one's called object copy. Oh, copying objects. Everyone hates it from the gut. What do people do if they want to copy an object? Where's the pen? You have the original Yeah, you have the copy, and comes the new programmer, and he does something like copy equals original. There, we copied it. No, you didn't. This doesn't copy anything because objects, arrays, they are referenced, okay? They are not copied when you do this. Only the reference is copied. So you're accessing the same exact object, which is the original. You can do as many times as you want. All the variables is gonna reference to this object, okay? So this clearly isn't gonna work. I'm not even gonna bother trying it, okay? So let's do it. I used var because why not? So made an original and a copy. And in these functions, we're gonna do some operations on them. Before we start, you should know that there are two different ways to copy an object. There are so-called shallow copies, and I don't mean like shallow in that way. It's because they copy some things and they don't copy the other things. And you will see in a moment. There are deep copies, and there are multiple ways to make deep copies, but I will demonstrate it right away. So let's start. Let's make a shallow copy first and see what that does. Okay, this is a shallow. Wow. Okay, so this is our shallow function. So there are two well-known ways to shallow copy objects. One is the spread operator. The next one is the object assign. They're basically doing the same thing. For simplicity, we are going to use the spread operator. Now we have our original object. Mandatory attribute pp set to long. We have a date attribute, which creates a new date object here. And also a deep attribute, which I call deep because it's gonna be a new object where we set an A and a B attribute, 1 to 1 and the second to 2 right here. Okay, we run this shallow copy, which will copy the original into the copy, and then we are going to change some attributes on the copy and see how that turns out via console table. Console table is a really nice command that prints out the table. You will see in a minute. In our copy, we will change the pp attribute to short and also change the a attribute from 1 to 10, and we change the date set full year to 1969. That's what we're gonna do and see what's gonna happen. Let me run this, and we are going to run this in a browser because it's much nicer. Here we go. Okay, so shallow copy run. This is our original, and where's the pen? This is the original right here. I don't think you can see it, and I changed the color. So this says this one's the original, this one's the copy. You can see all the attributes. Okay, so on the original pp is long, on the copy the pp is short, as we said. Date, well, we already have a problem. I set the date on the copy, but see, it's changed on the original too. What? Let's see the a attribute too, which I changed on the copy to 10, but hey, it's also changed on the original. What's happening? What's this? Why is this happening? Well, this is because we shallow copied the object, okay? In shallow copies, only primitives are actually copied, objects are not. They are referenced. As see, these two attributes are referencing the same object even though they are copied. Same happens here with the A attribute, okay? And same with the B, although we didn't change it. You might say that's not really what I want. I really wanna copy it, okay? Dude, I just wanna copy it. Well, do not worry. I also made a function for it. I mean, I made two functions for it. One is a JSON method, which was used, well, it's still used in many cases, but let's see how that works. I'm going to disable one thing here, so it executes, all right. And let's see what happens. Okay, so the pp is set okay. Where's the pen? Pen, come here, pen. So the pp is set okay. Okay, this pp is right. Date, what? So right now we didn't change the date because I just disabled the part. But what's this? What do you mean? That's a string and that's a date. So the date didn't work. Let's see the a and the b attributes on the deep object. Okay, so I set the a attribute to 10 on the copy, which is 10, and it stayed 1 on the original. All right, this sort of worked, but not really. What happened with the date? So everything else worked. What happened with the date? Date is a instance of a date class. Creating a JSON stringify, as we do here, see, is just primitively create a generic object from it, okay? So it will just convert it, in this case, to a string. Well, that's not good. That's not what we want. We want our original date object. Is it possible? Is it possible to also copy that? Yes, actually it is possible. With newer JavaScript, there is a function you need to take a look at. I disabled this line because it would have thrown an error because the new date that was a string, so this function doesn't exist. Now, deep structured clone. What's the structured clone function? Well, it's a very neat new JavaScript function which lets you create clones, deep clones of any objects. It's really clever. Okay, so we have the same scenario. We call this function. Let's take a look at what happens. So the pp is long, the pp is short. Well, that's right. On the copy, I changed the year, right? That's changed. On the original, I don't. Perfect. They are no longer connected. They are separate objects. On the copy, I changed the a attribute to 10, but on the old one, it should stay 1. Perfect. It looks like we have solved the problem. And indeed, we solved the problem. This function is going to create structured deep clones of your objects. Which one should you use? It depends. Let's put it this way. Shallow copies I usually use when I know the object doesn't have another object within embedded. Just primitives and no objects like this and this. It's great for maybe function attributes and all that. Same goes for this one, this method. Although I don't think you should use the JSON version because I don't think there's a reason for it. You should rather just do the structured clone, okay? So if you need a deep copy, use a structured clone. If you need a shallow copy, maybe you have this object and just some attributes like some function parameters or something. The spread operator does the job, okay? We know everything now. We learned something new today as well. Okay, so this concludes the video. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, okay? Thumbs up and all that. Comment, tell me what do you think. And I hope you learned something and see you in the next one. Bye bye.